Hey gang, it's good to see you all again. Today we're going to be working on an indoor project. Now, a real quick brief. This is the home that me and Patti just bought on our big move. Patti has just painted about 90% of this house. Okay, so we have purposely chosen this wall to decorate in a different way, so we did not paint it. So what we're going to do, we're going to use wood planks, fence planks, dog-eared fence planks. I'm going to cut all those off, but we chose this because we like the grain and the looks. So how we're going to do this is we're going to, if you look up here, I've already marked off my studs. So these are going to be cut in ways to where a nail will hit each stud. Now, we're going to cut them different lengths. A uniform way, which most people do, is full size, half size, full size, where you have a uniform line like this, but we're not going to go that way. We kind of chose the go gather the wood off the barn farm look. So we can have 3 different sizes up here and one long one here. We're just going to kind of go at a whim, kind of give it our own creation, our own design. So right now I'm going to go outside and cut all the dog ears off these, and then we'll start cutting. And we'll start filming a little bit at a time at how we're doing this. Also, we do have glue. And for those of you who are tempted to do this and know that this is a permanent thing for you for forever, then the glue is a good thing. The glue is great. I got Sure Grip and with a glue gun, and we'll just put it all down the side. And then I would just hold it up there and put one nail in there, one nail in there. Okay, glue's great, but if you choose to change your mind next year or 10 minutes down the road, that glue's going to be your enemy, because when you take it off, you're taking off drywall. So think real hard about how you're going to do that. You can use just nails. I'm using plank nails with no head. They're going to go right into the stud, and the nail's going to go right into here. I'm going to press it in. I'm going to center it, so you'll never see it. And like I said, we'll go from step to step, and this is step 1 for us. All right, we've got all the dog ears cut off of our posts. So I'm going to mark my beginning and end right now to make it easier for this crossover, this beam up on top. Like what I've done right here, I've drawn a pencil mark with my square where my boards will end. Do the same thing right here. I'm going to go just a little bit inset on the inside. There's my line. My boards are going to end right there. All right, let's start. 18 even.
This one can go. This work here. This will work. What do you think? Hold it. Make sure it's even right here. 36 inches. It'll go like that.
That one.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, put your nail right here. Yep. Stud right there.
Man, it's too low.
Right there. Oh, you know your next board.
As soon as we get this one nailed, I'll measure again to here to just to make sure what it is. Homestead.
See, there's a hole there for electrical or something, and that's gonna happen. You can't guarantee that to be perfect, so.
No stud.
Well, because look at where you're at.
No stud. I'm right on it.
Go in a little bit more.
Go like right about here.
See this right here? There's a stud holding this piece up right here.
Marker's way off.
Yeah, so try it.
Just
like
come back a little
right
bit.
about-
Just come back a little bit. Basically, 2x4 is right here. So yeah, where her tiny fingers is gonna be fine. So I'm getting a whole bunch of smallies out there.
Alright,
Like the next one is
so
all the
we'll
way.
do this one, and then we'll just do a long one that way.
I can't nail either side.
Why? Oh man. It's because this board, shoot.
Both boards.
It doesn't matter which way it goes, huh?
Because this also has a bend as well.
Let me paint back here. This color paint. That way that blue doesn't show. Okay. Now I need to find a stud.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the middle.
Like probably
Yeah.
right here, huh?
Oh, we can get one over here.
This is the one where we never know where it's. See, here it is right here.
Yeah.
And right there.
Yeah,
So I'm
go-
gonna go
yeah.
about right here.
I would put 2 in that wall.
Probably, huh? So we're at right up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go up high like that, and then we do the other side. We'll all push up. All right. On another note, on our face plates, I went ahead and cut them out individually, the 2 boards on the table saw, which is kind of hard to do because you can't do turns and corners. So I did it on there to create the rustic rough look. So if you look close at the switch plate, which we'll bring in the camera in a little bit, you can see that it's got rough edges all the way around. Since the wall is rustic and rough looking, this will add a little bit of texture to it. There you go. As you can see the rough edges, it just kind of give that little bit of that old country look. And we're going to do the same thing on the air conditioner return vent and the last receptacle. So we should be about 3-4 more boards and we should be down there. I guess. I need you to hold that there. Square it off there and hold it.
Okay.
That square right there?
Yep.
Okay, I've made my lower marks on here, so I know that I'm going to cut this wide. Now I'm going to take my board, put it here. I'm going to mark it at the top of the switch plate. I'm going to measure that. I'm going to measure that and then apply it right here. And then I'll have a square, and I'm going to cut out this square right here. My receptacle cover, my switch plate cover is on the wall because they're going to be recessed. They're going to be in a little bit deeper than the wood, and that's the design that we chose. So the covers are on, and my trim is going to be just a little bit wider than the switch plate. So again, I line it up here, draw my lines where the switch plate is, and that gives me my width. And then I come over here, hold it there, mark it there, and that gives me my height. Again, I'm gonna measure from there to there and apply that measurement from here to here where I put my marks. So that way I should have a square right here. And I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna cut that out with the table saw. Like I said, it's kind of hard to do, but it gives it that rough look. It takes a little bit of time. You gotta kind of go at an angle, back and forth, and then kind of square it off. And it gives it that chipped look. Like you took a knife and cut it out, kind of an old rugged look. So I just did my measurements, used my T-square, and this is my cutout, my measurements for this piece of wood for that receptacle, that switch plate. So, like I said, I'm gonna cut this out. It's gonna come back all rough looking, and this should be the top piece that goes over top there, then we'll do the bottom piece. All right, now that we're working on the bottom, I got this piece cut out, and it looks all nice and rough, like it was done with a chisel. It's on. I'm gonna do the same thing for the bottom. Gonna put it here, measure my lines, flip it over, put it there, measure my depth. I'll show you that on the video on that part. And then now we're coming over here to, this is the return vent for the AC and the heater in the house. So I'm gonna keep coming down to here, all the way to here. And then here, I'm gonna make one piece right here and fill it in right here. So this piece here is actually gonna, I'm gonna try to make it one piece to be the same distance as this. So this is gonna go here and here, and that should fit right in there. Again, I made it to where it's just a 1/16 of an inch smaller than the vent cover. So when we want to change our filters and clean out the vents, all we do is unscrew it and just pop it right out, and it doesn't conflict with the wood. So it should be a little bit of gap there, a little bit of gap all the way around. And then that should about do it. We'll see. All right. All right, the bottom piece of the switch plate. Okay, so I'll line my corners up here, and I'm going to show you real quick. I'm just kidding. These are my the top board cuts. I'm going to make a mark there, make a mark here, and that's where my cut's going to be going down. So now I take my board right there, put it up against the switch plate here, and the board there, and I make a mark on the wood on the bottom of the switch plate, just a little bit longer than the switch plate to give it a gap. That's my mark from here to the mark I made, and apply that measurement to the lines I made for the cutout. Let's say it's 3 inches. Well, I'm going to measure 3 inches here, 3 inches here, get my T-square, draw my line, and there's my drawing for my cutout. Then I'm going to use the table saw and get my rough edges on there and get it cut out, and it should just go right on just like this one. So here we got this piece that's long here and a little bit drop here. So I've already got my distance. I'm good there. I'm going to put it in place. Going to mark the side of the return vent cover. Give it a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a distance. I'm gonna put this here. And mark on top of the return vent cover. Again, I'm going to take that measurement that I just did from there to the bottom and apply it to here. Then I'm going to make my lines. I'm going to make my cut. So it's going to actually be like that all the way across. So in reality, I'm just going to measure it, draw a line there, and I got my distance already here, so I'm going to make that line join this line, and then I'm going to cut that out, and this should just pop right in place. Alright, I've got my board cut out, I've got it notched out here and here, which I measured from here to here and full length. And that's going to fit in there just like that. I've got my little bit of a gap all the way around so we can remove this when we need to, and it fits flush right here. So this is ready to go. All right, Cody, go ahead and start. Okay, the other thing, folks, the reason why we went with a hammer and not a nail gun is because the hammer, when you finish off the last couple strokes on the hammer, it leaves a little bit of indentations on the wood, which is kind of rustic, which is old farm, old barn looking. You know, kind of gives it that used wood look. A nail gun would have been nice and easy, just pop, pop, pop. But then again, for those who want a real fine finish, you know, nice, even square design, that would be perfect. But this one here, this what the hammer does, what we want. Every time you hit it in, it leaves a little mark, little indentations. And also, the nails that we're using are 2.5 inch coated shank nails. There's no head on them. So they're going to go right into the wood real smoothly, go all the way down, then they're going to be flush. And then you can either take a tap and tap them in, but I'm going to leave them exposed because over time the humidity and stuff inside the house will cap these and they'll kind of get a little bit of a rust color on them. So it's good for a little, you know, for finishing nails, keeping them on there. I've got them on all, like I said, I got them on all the studs. So these boards are really not going to go anywhere. All right, you got to cut a little bit more off the bottom.
Okay.
Sometimes that happens because of the foundation of the house could be uneven. Okay. So we're gonna get the one right here.
Yep.
Get two right there real quick. All right, so I'm just touching up on a few spots that look like might be need a little bit more support. And after that, this wall is finished.
I am so pleased with the way this came out. We wanted to do something on this wall because behind here is the pantry, and when they built the pantry, they didn't quite put the seams together right on the drywall, and there was like, you could push it in, and I didn't want to paint it because it was going to be too much repair work. So I said I wanted to do some kind of a wood wall, and we looked at all the kits that they had at the big box store, and it was going to cost us about $300 or $400 to do this wall. And so Keith said, what if we just get some wood planks from there and I can cut them to size? And I said, oh, great idea. And he kind of wanted to go with cedar. I love the smell of cedar, but I wasn't looking for that color. But this is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love the wood grains. It just really adds that warm touch to the house. And we've been working so hard on this house because when we moved in, it was that ugly, ugly dark gray or blue or whatever it was. And it's a small house anyways. And The front of the yard is just covered with trees and a big, huge front porch, and we don't get a lot of sunlight in here, so I wanted to stay light. And so I painted all the walls just an off-white, just to lighten the room up, and what a change. And this tops it. I'm so excited over this. So this is a really cheap do-it-yourself project. The wood just cost us $60. We got 25 pieces. They were like $2.58 a piece. Keith is so handy, and he cut them all, and Cody's help was fantastic getting everything nailed in. And I'm just so excited. It's what a great project to do when it's cold outside, but yet still sunny. And we're just really making this house our own. So I think we need to get the wall put back together, put the piano back over here, and put the big clock up here. And it's just, it feels like home now. So thanks for coming along with us, and let's get the wall put back together.
It's got stuff on it. Might have been from the saw, you know. I mean, bringing the wood in.
Or just plain dirty.
Some Texas dust.